Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. I'm Moshe.
I'm Natasha, Moshe's wife.
And that's right. And I thank you for finally identifying yourself the way that you ought to be identified. Natasha, I'm going to be at the Bell House this Saturday, but I don't even need to plug it because, to be honest with you, it's almost sold out. But you know what's not almost sold out are my dates the next weekend in Raleigh at Charlie Goodnight's. So you should come. If you're in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, you should come.
But actually, more important than going to see Moshe perform
Yep, I was getting to that.
Is coming to my book tour. The tickets just went on sale yesterday, and we have shows in some of my favorite cities. D.C., Washington, D.C. Has anyone heard of Washington, D.C.?
That's the seat of power of the United States of America, which is my favorite democracy.
Boston, Massachusetts. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm going to start calling things by their full names.
You should call it Philly.
Nashville, Tennessee.
You should call that just Nash.
Denver, Co.
Loving it.
Chicago, my hometown, kind of.
Chi-Town. We could call it Chi-Town, the Windy City.
You should tell everyone your impressions of my hometown after this too, Moshe. And then don't forget my favorite homeland, Brea.
Natasha, we did go to visit Rockford, Illinois, your home, the place that made you. Mm. And I had a lot of impressions of it, in fact. And
what'd you think?
Well, I will say that Rockford let me start by saying I enjoyed your family, and I thought Natasha's family is hilarious. They're the kind of people who every man introduces himself by his first and last name 100% of the time. Hey, Steve Scalapini, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Hey, Steve. Bobby Donalini, how you doing? I used to run the bakery over there on 7th. Hey, Donalini, Donadini. Every single person.
They all went to school with each other. They all have 10 brothers and sisters, and they all know each other's siblings. But also, what'd the guy say to you? Remember
Oh my God, this guy comes up to us. Hey, Donadini, Donatello, Michelangelo, Donatello, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Hey, how you doing there? I'm a Teenage Mutant Ninja. You might remember me with your dad. I used to fight crime. We were trained by Master Splinter. After we drank some radioactive ooze, we became the turtles that could fight. Anyway, no, he comes up to us. He's like, hey, I'm Bobby Dabba Dabby. And he's like...
This is for my dad's funeral, by the way.
He's like, oh, I was really good friends with Johnny Legs. Oh, yeah, we should have mentioned that. It was for Natasha's dad's funeral. And he's like, I was really good friends with Johnny Legs. And
that's my dad's name.
He starts stream of consciousness talking about like a situation where one of the guys was on mushrooms and the DEA was there. And he's just telling this long story. And then he goes, California. You live in California, right? Love California. Love California. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. I hate Gavin Newsom. And it was just like, I was trying to imagine ever going up to a group of people from Illinois and being like, oh, you guys, Illinois? I love Chicago. I hate whatever Pollock is the governor of Illinois. It was so hilarious to me. He goes, man, I tell you though, California is beautiful. I was up on top of the swim up bar, the pool on the roof. There were some bikini babes there. Let me tell you, they were hotter than a 2-pepper taco.
Moshe kind of spit up his Diet Coke. And poor Moshe couldn't even eat at the buffet because it was like sausage, meatballs.
They had a salad. This is some Italian. It was deep Italian shit. They had a salad with sausage in it. I never knew about that. I never knew that happened.
There was sausage in every dish. Even the marinara pasta had ground sausage.
There was penne with red sauce. No meat to be found. Not vegetarian. Sausage salad. There was sausage salad.
It's raw or cooked egg and sausage. That's like the Italian
This
salad.
woman looks at me. She kind of frowns sympathetically and she goes, the bread's vegan. It's like, I think I'll pass.
No, she said the bread's vegetarian. It probably wasn't vegan.
She said vegan, honey.
Okay.
They know what's up. They look at me. They see a real Gavin Newsom stan, and they go, this guy needs vegan bread. We went to a mass. We went to a Catholic mass at for your dad's funeral. How was it for you? I'm doing all the talking over here.
It was interesting being back in mass.
Yeah, mass is a trip.
It is kind of like a trip. I should get high and go.
You know what mass feels like?
It feels almost like ayahuasca.
You know what I just realized mass feels like?
What?
You're at a magic show for a grand illusionist, but he doesn't know any of the tricks. So there's never the like da 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 da. It's just all the like weird setup. I was taking our child around, and it's
my child, Moshe.
Sorry, I was taking your child around. Who, by the way, your Italian family was so charmed by her.
I told her they were going to pinch her cheeks, so we rehearsed it.
They came through. Hey, what about that woman that was flirting with me though?
Oh my God! Then this old lady comes up to me and she's like, There's just something about your husband. I read his book. And I what did she say?
She said there's...
she goes, there's something about your husband. Well, you probably know what it is.
She's been thinking about the dong, dude.
She was like 75, but she said she read your book and it really influenced her or something.
I love it. I love it. Natasha, you've got a book coming out. You've got a book tour coming out. I want everybody to buy that book. I want everybody to go see it.
Well, actually, if you come to one of my shows at the city wineries in these cities like DC, Philadelphia, Denver, Chicago, Brea. I love Brea. Each ticket comes with a signed book.
Yeah, it comes
and
with a book.
I'm gonna do stand up. I'm gonna read from the book. It's gonna be great.
This sounds like a fun show.
And they give you your own like bottle of wine with your face on it.
Really?
At the city
to each
wineries.
person?
I bet you they could buy them.
Oh, they could buy a bottle of wine with your face on it?
I don't know. Let's hope.
Hey, Donalini Tatadini. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing over there? Hey, you're of the Jewish faith.
They're very open though. They're not bigoted like that.
No, they're not. And it's a good time to be not bigoted against Jews. Let me just say that. Stressful times out there for the Jewish people. And it's been showing in some cracks in my exoskeleton. We got into a fight, Natasha, you and I, the other day because I physically assaulted a Lime bike. Remember?
That was weird.
It was weird.
Because the Lime bike was like in the street, standing up. And right by our house, I said, Moshe, can you just like move it to the street sign? And so he moves it to the street sign and then pushes it. And then it falls next to this like worker's car. He almost scratches this dude's car.
That was a mistake.
Who's like working on the fence next door and staring at his car.
That was a mistake. I wanted to hurt the bike. I didn't want to hurt the worker. And I didn't.
The worker's car.
In the end, I didn't.
Even if his car wasn't there, you shouldn't.
Here's what I want.
Tip a Lime bike
Why?
over. Well, first of all, they're huge. They weigh like 50 pounds.
No, they don't.
They're way more dangerous on the ground.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. A kid could trip on them.
A kid could trip on them?
And if you want them out of your neighborhood, might as well keep it up so people can see it.
No.
If you put it down, people will miss it and it'll stay there as trash.
First of all, you speak like a person who doesn't understand the Lime app. They GPS you to the closest Lime bike. But what I want is for at the end of the night when the Lime pirates come to collect all the bikes to charge them, I want them to see that people are not happy with these fucking little
you think
bikes
it should be
being
like
peppered all over our neighborhood without our consent. They're just fucking everywhere. It's in the middle of the fucking street. I couldn't make a turn. Fucking, do I sound like a male a Marin?
a Ken?
A Ken?
Wait, but
maybe.
But
I'm a Karen about those Lime bikes. It's so fucking annoying. They just decided all of a sudden that they could season our sidewalks with an endless supply of bikes just because they're a business and they're gonna disrupt the space. We're gonna disrupt the sidewalk space.
So you think it should be like city bikes, like totally arranged and a place that you drop off and pick up,
or something. I just don't.
But I don't think they have anything like that.
You know, I do make one exception.
Yeah.
When I'm out of town. And I need a Lime bike. Then I am really happy that they're all over the place. But when
You've never used a Lime bike. I can't use it. It's so massive.
I sure have. And they're not massive. You're just a tiny little pipsqueak of a person.
Honey, they're huge.
They're regular size. And
no,
you
they're
are
not.
a miniature. You are literally like a glass menagerie figurine. And they are a regular size scooter. I mean, it's so hilarious that you think they're massive.
They are.
No one's ever thought the problem with Lime bikes is how hefty they are.
Well, maybe there's a different brand. There's also many brands, and they all have the same bag.
Oh, are you talking about giant e-bikes?
No, those black ones.
No, Giant e-bikes is a trippy company. It's the same business model as Lime bike, but the bikes are actually 15 feet tall. And so they're like, you have to be a circus performer to be able to use one.
All right. Well, listen, should we do something else besides
this? Yeah, let's
this?
do something.
Okay.
You want to do something?
Why don't we take a caller?
I love that idea. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe?
You know what I like in an advertiser?
What?
When something comes down the pike and I'm like, this is a service I didn't realize I needed until I started utilizing it, and Wild Grain fits the bill.
Who doesn't want frozen carbs in their freezer that are like
ready to bake?
15 minutes away from I made
Hot
the
ass.
Sourdough bread for my daughter this weekend.
Crusty ass.
20 minutes in the oven. It was so delicious.
It's so yummy.
We put blueberry jam on it. And then yesterday, I made the fresh pasta that was from the freezer, and it tasted so much better than those boxed pastas.
Absolutely, because
and I put it with pesto, and it was amazing.
Freshy, so tangy, chewy, delicious noodles. And then they have these chocolate chip cookies that are so fudgerific. I mean, they're
Can you
fat.
not say that word though, Moshe?
No, I have to say it actually contractually. But they're fat too. They're these fat, like littered with chocolate chip cookies. And I was making them direct, and they give you this like giant, like cafe size chocolate chip cookie. But then we were down to one, and I broke it into fours, and
I think you made 6.
6 out of one cookie, and we had 6 little cookies, and they were like Chips Ahoy, but they were soft and fresh, wild grain. They'll send this stuff to you, all frozen. It goes in your freezer, and you just bop it out when you're ready to cook. And honestly, those cookies and even the bread are all fudgerific.
All you have to do is sign up at wildgrain.com/honeymoon and choose which type of box you want to receive and how often. It's easy to reschedule, skip, or cancel.
And this holiday season, Wild Grain is featuring delicious new limited time sweet treats such as pumpkin cinnamon rolls, orange cranberry biscuits, and chocolate avalanche croissants. You know what those chocolate avalanche croissants sound like to me? Fudgerific.
For a limited time, you can get $30 off the first box plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/honeymoon to start your subscription.
That's right. You heard us. Free croissants, free croissant in every box, and $30 off that first box when you go to wildgrain.com/honeymoon.
That's wildgrain.com/honeymoon, or you can use promo code honeymoon at checkout. Let's call Giselle and Modesto.
Modesto.
How did Modesto escape my tour?
Oh, yeah. Modesto is the Brea of the Central Valley.
I don't even know where Modesto is.
Modesto
near Palm Springs?
Well, you can connect. Modesto is an hour and a half away from the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. It's the place where Giselle, just hold on as I review your town. It's the place where I did my first ever out-of-town gig where I got a hotel ever. And I was
Modesto?
Yeah, the Fat Cat. Does that still exist, Giselle? The Fat Cat?
It does, yeah.
The Fat Cat was a comedy club. It was a dance club that did comedy first. And if you came to the comedy show, you got into the dance club for free.
This sounds like your first headlining set.
First feature set. Yeah. First feature set. And can you imagine, Giselle, the demographic of people that want to go to the dance club? They're just there to get their electric slide on, but they're being forced to watch a comedy show in order to get free admission. They did not like the comedy or ethnic product that I brought to the table. I did say I'm Jewish, and someone began to boo. Now, it was the first gig I ever got out of town, first hotel I ever got out of town. Also the first gig I ever called the booker and said, I can't ever return. And I thought my career was over.
You were doing your own bookings then?
Hell yeah. This was early days. And I thought that the booker, would destroy my career because I wouldn't go back to the Fat Cat. Giselle, how are you?
Can Giselle talk now, Moshe?
I just wanted to give her some context that I have some bias against her just based on when I saw that Modesto.
Okay, first of all, I just moved to Modesto from Oakland.
Okay. You're back in my good graces. I like you again.
So chill.
Okay. Consider me checked. I'm checked. What's happening?
I'm a little nervous. Okay, so my baby is turning 2 on Friday, and I'm feeling a sense of urgency to have another baby. While the age gap is not so wide, the issue is that my first pregnancy was pretty traumatic, and it's pretty likely that if I have another baby, I will have preeclampsia again, or I'll have more complications again. And I'm just not sure if the risk is worth it, or if I even want another kid. My husband was pretty traumatized by it too, so he's been hesitant about it. I think I want another kid. I'm just not sure. I kind of feel a little selfish. The other thing is that I don't know if my pregnancy was actually that traumatic, because I feel like most birth stories are pretty wild.
Wait, I have a question. Do you have a question, Natasha? I have a
Well, I guess I would like to know what's the main reason, if you had to think of one reason, that you want to have another kid?
I want a companion for my current kid. If I have multiple children, I want them to grow up together and like experience childhood together.
You don't want just your kid and you, and then friends for the kid and cousins and just like an act.
And Modesto. Let's not forget the backdrop, you know?
Well, I'm just saying, if for a playmate, if that's the only reason, it feels like there's so much refereeing for like the first 5 years that if you can just like make an, if you don't, if that's the main reason, this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to like plan a lot of things for my kid and have her have like a really active life and like get her in like a lot of different classes and things that she likes. And, you know, I'm just trying to make sure she's really socialized, you know, and I don't know. I think she'll be fine. And I enjoy it more because I don't have to deal with 2 kids. But, you know, it would be very amazing if she had a playmate here and they just sat and played all day, just like having a play date. But instead, I just try to be really active and arrange play dates for her. I don't know.
Well, I got a question, Giselle.
Yeah.
Well, the trauma that you're referring to with your pregnancy, was it for the pregnancy or was it the actual birth that was rough?
Well, she had preeclampsia, right?
I don't know what preeclampsia is. I assume it comes just before eclampsia.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, I do know what it is.
Usually the preeclampsia goes away when you give birth. So it happened about a week before the baby left my body. And the impact of it lasted for about a month afterwards. So I couldn't see clearly for a month because the blood pressure was so bad that my retina swelled too. It was just like
crazy.
Not great. It was not great. But I feel like a lot of people have a not great experience with childbirth.
But that doesn't matter. It's like, how was it for you? Was it a low point for you?
Yeah.
Well, that's the only thing that matters.
It also sounds...
And someone else might have something way more traumatic and not have been affected by it. And someone else might have had something that would be no big deal to you and they're super, you know, traumatized by it. It's just like, it just depends on the person. So it's like, how was it for you? It sounds like it was a low. Okay, well, now you know that. So you could try to manage that. I just think it's like, it might be really worth thinking and even making a physical list of pros and cons, because if there's a strong part of you that doesn't want to have another kid, there are a lot of pros to not having another kid.
That's true. I will say that Natasha is both correct about how dope it is to have just one kid and also biased against not having another kid.
No, I'm not biased.
You are adamantly not wanting another kid.
I mean, the thing she's saying is so amazing when your kid is like not asking you to play with them, but they have someone else to play with. I mean, I don't know. It's like I can't have another kid. I could adopt one, but like.
Well, what about that, Giselle? What about adopting or fostering a kid? If in fact it's really about your kid having a playmate.
And then you wouldn't hurt yourself and you could stay in your.
Is that, that's a personal, I mean, I get it. That can be difficult to wrap your brain around.
No, I mean, that's why I'm here. Yeah. I have considered it. It feels like it would be really expensive, like potentially prohibitively expensive.
It's extremely expensive. You can be on waiting lists for years and years. And a lot of these kids can be very traumatized and coming from like drugs. And I don't know. It just feels like that's a lot to take on potentially too.
One is, you're saying adoption. Well, adoption seems expensive.
You're adopting a kid whose mom was on drugs.
Fostering, on the other hand, you can start to get straight paid, you know, and that's what it's about. Okay, that's what fostering's really about.
What does your husband think?
He was not down up until a couple months ago.
So he likes having one kid.
He likes having one kid more than he liked the delivery. Well, and the potential of going through that again.
I have a question.
That's good because he really cares about you. So like on your pro list is that your husband doesn't want to have another kid. So it's like for Moshe, I had to convince him to only have one kid because he really wanted 2 kids.
He just doesn't want a blind wife because he doesn't want to have to care for the kids by himself. What I'm curious, I'm just trying to infuse this bad boy with comedy. I'm curious, if you did a C-section, would it prevent your possibilities of preeclampsia? I don't really understand.
That's a great joke, Moshe.
No, that one wasn't humor. That was a real question.
No,
it wouldn't.
No, I had a C-section the first time.
Oh, wow. Crazy. And it would definitely happen to you again if you did it.
It's pretty likely. I had a preconception consultation with an OB, and I think that's what's throwing me too. The OB was so chill about it. He was not that worried. And so now I feel like I don't have to be that worried.
Oh, he was
But I
like,
know,
who cares if you get it again? It'll go away. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
kind of, or no, it was just his affect. He
Mm.
was saying like, yes, this is pretty life-threatening, but also
Oh, it's life-threatening?
we can handle it.
Wait, Giselle. It's potentially life-threatening?
He said those words, but he was also not that worried about it.
Giselle.
I think maybe
Giselle,
a different
Giselle,
doctor
Giselle.
might be good.
I mean, this is an easy decision. It's not an easy emotional decision. It's a difficult emotional decision. But like, okay, with our kid, right? Our story is that I've told it before, but that Natasha froze a bunch of eggs. We weren't having any luck with regular style, and we didn't have any luck with doggy style, and so we just raw dog didn't work. So then we moved on to like IVF and hormone therapy. That didn't work. So
To try to jumpstart my own eggs, even though I had some saved because I didn't have that many saved, and
Right.
I was still of childbearing age.
So then we went to her frozen eggs, and then I busted a nut all over the frozen eggs, and that worked. And then they tested four of them, and or there were 8 of them, and we tested them, and 4 of them died, and then one of them we implanted, and it died, and then another one died, and then there was just one left. And then we were like, damn, this isn't going to work. So they were like, it's like 25% chance that the last one will work, and then it did, and that's our kid. And so I'm like, the universe just gave us this like lucky break to have this kid, and that like the universe has decided that she's going to be an only child, and that's just the way it's going to be. I mean, I'm not, it sounds to me with the words life-threatening. If you'd said that at the beginning, this is an easy decision practically to make, not emotionally. It's a very difficult decision to make emotionally, but practically, you want to risk a life-threatening illness when you're ambivalent about whether or not you want another kid. It's like the universe has spoken. God has spoken. The mother Gaia has spoken. You get this beautiful gift of having this kid and your health and your husband who loves you. That's what it seems like to me. It's just like, read the signs. It seems like the world's talking to you.
And then take that energy that you would take and money and everything into another child, and just make sure your kid's always in like a karate camp or something and has like other friends, and just just try a little extra hard. And also, if you do decide this, I think you have to get to a place where you guys really celebrate having one kid, and it's a choice because of your health situation, and then don't look back and don't have regrets, because that'll feel bad, and you're choosing you over this other baby. So I think that if you guys kind of know that as a family, it makes it a little easier, because it doesn't seem worth risking your life for.
I don't think so either.
Well, shit, now I have to put the IUD back in.
I mean, or you know what? Or save up, $30,000 and get a surrogate in India. But that is
you could freeze your eggs right now if you still have this thing in your head. I mean, it's still a lot. It's like probably $12,000 or something at the least.
It's not cheap.
When I did it was $8,000, but I'm just saying you could do that up until you're 38. So maybe it's like, yeah, if in some time you decide whatever, then maybe revisit it. But
the life-threatening thing just kind of was like, that's the part where I'm like, okay, it feels like chill affect dude has spoken. It's like life-threatening. No, I mean, if you were like, I'm willing to risk it all, maybe, but you're even in that framework, you're like, I don't even know.
Or your religion was like, I must breed.
But no religion. That's the thing. It's like, I'm from a religion that encourages endless childbirth.
Me too.
Yeah, we both are. We're from the classics. And my Judaism would tell you, no, you don't. You had the kid. You fulfilled your what they call a mitzvah to bring life into the world. You did that. It happened.
Catholicism would want you to have the kid so that you would hopefully die and they could get a younger wife.
That's not a fair analysis of Catholicism. But I'm just saying, life-threatening. I'm out. Adopt, foster, get a surrogate, make plans to have a single
and
kid.
Enjoy it.
And
have
enjoy
a fun
it.
life, and just try to. If the social thing is the main reason, there's got to be ways to like counter that. Like make sure there's always like birthday parties. You go to the birthday parties. You host friend dates. Hopefully she gets a homie or he. And then like, I think it's just up to you, cousins. Just like make it feel like you're shaking your head. Is this a pipe dream?
No. You're right.
It takes a little extra effort. That's all.
It just sounds harder for me.
I see. Because you imagined 2 kids.
I'm not as social as...
Right.
I just don't like the idea of forcing myself into social situations so that my kid is in social situations.
Yeah.
So
for some reason, I do that. I do that.
I mean, I'm just Giselle. I've been trying
and honestly, it's exhausting.
I've been trying to make little jokes this whole time, but my real analysis of you is that you're hard on yourself. I'm feeling that. The whole thing where you dismissed your own trauma as like not important just because a doctor had schizoid personality disorder. Like, it's okay for you to feel bad and to mourn the fact that you had this physical ailment. That is significant information.
And you have this healthy baby that came from it, so you won.
It's okay to celebrate that too, that you made it through.
You triumphed over this.
Yes.
This thing that doesn't always end positively.
And it's okay for it to feel bad, and it's okay for it to feel like fucked up, and it's okay for you to be like, I don't want to go bring him to the fucking cookout. It's all okay. Everything is okay. And you just, I mean, obviously you have a hard decision to make, but it seems to me when the words life-threatening come up, and I look at my perfect family with my husband who loves me and my kid who's awesome and 2 years old and just could get all of my attention, I'm like, just like Natasha said, I won. I triumphed. It happened.
And you don't have to have your kid have an active life. You don't have to necessarily be there. You can just make sure she's enrolled in cool things that she finds an interest in, and always at something enriching or a camp or music or just something where you can drop her off 3 nights a week or whatever.
3-person families are nimble. My RV has 3 seats. No one else can join, and we can jump in and we can bounce anytime. Let's go. The world's ending. Let's go. I don't want to have to go out and be like Thomas, Caleb, Samantha, Terwilliger, Donnie DeMarco, everybody in the RV. I don't want to have to. I'm happy with.
Remember, my dad said that he and his 7 siblings my nana would take them on a train to New Orleans. Can you imagine with 7 kids
on a train to New Orleans? You would definitely come back missing one. So good luck. And listen, save up. It's easy to say, but surrogacy. If you don't want to adopt and you don't want to do the foster thing, surrogacy is not cheap, but it is.
Maybe you'll find yourself in more money, or not that I don't know how much money you have, but that is an extreme expense.
Well, but there are ways to make it cheaper. And unfortunately, there are weird surrogacy mills in India. But I'm just saying, look at your options. There's options out there. There's fostering, there's adopting, there's surrogacy. There are other options before you tap out completely. But life-threatening, that's kind of that's feeling like that's a nah.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like you are saying what I have been telling myself and have been in denial about it too. So that makes sense.
Well,
it's a little disappointing though, isn't it?
You're grieving this dream that you thought you had, this vision of what you thought your life was going to be.
I have a lot of friends in your position, and I think they want to have more kids, but most of them are just kind of older, so they can't. They don't have this preeclampsia, but it's still the same feeling, and it's still the same loss and mourning for that. I never pictured myself with 1 kid, so I'm happy with 1. But I think a lot of people have this really strong vision of what their life for kids should be like, and a lot of times it mirrors theirs, and
yeah, I think
it's got to be hard.
As I say, call it grieving, and it is. It's like grief, and it's okay to give yourself permission to feel that grief. This is a good kind of grief because it includes a happy ending. It's like the grief is real and it's significant and it should be acknowledged and paid attention to and processed for sure. But also it's grief that has this beautiful thing, which is but I do have a family. I'm not giving up on that idea. I've got this awesome family. In the pantheon of grief, and I do think comparing your suffering to other people's suffering is kind of a fool's errand, because there's, just like Natasha said, always somebody out there that's got it worse. But looking on the bright side is always a good idea. And the bright side is literally in the room next door to you right now.
And if you ever feel really depressed, just think of someone who has a problem child sibling.
Oh, yeah, that's real.
And you could just think oh, if I had another kid, it could have like totally disrupted my life.
They've
like
been in rehab right now.
There's still like a 40% chance that could happen probably with anybody.
They'd be in rehab by the time they're 14. If you think you don't like social situations, try family group. Now that's
I really do think about that too, though, is that this kid is really great. And there's a chance that if I have another one, they might not be as great.
That's exactly what I think.
He's stuck with the second shitty kid.
Oh, yeah. You might get a wonky one. You never know. You never know. It's true. And by the way, if you ever really get down on yourself, you get a babysitter, you head on over to the Fat Cat in Modesto, and you get your groove on.
Pass.
Ignore the comedy for the first 45 minutes. You go get your groove on to Montel Jordan and the hits of the 90s.
Moshe, were you selling your CDs out there too?
Oh, not after that show. I was like, nobody's buying these fucking CDs. I'm out of here.
Oh, poor Moshe. And Giselle, I guess just try to be happy.
I would focus on the positive, and there's a lot of positives. That's always, to me, that's always the best. The best kind of pain is the one where you could turn away from it and say, there's so much other beauty that I could pay attention to.
And the good news is if you wait 5 or 6 years, then they can babysit each other. So they might not be able to play with each other.
Oh, that's true.
But then you'll have like another good age.
Yeah, that's true.
That was me though. My sister's 9 years younger than me. So if I have another kid, it has to be now.
Well, take out a loan, get an Indian surrogate, fly to Calcutta, see what you got.
Okay, good luck, Giselle. I hope we helped you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. That's tough. I felt bad for her.
Yeah, but you know what? Only children are statistically, they make more money, they're smarter, they're happier.
Yeah. No, right.
It was just a lie what they told everyone in the 80s that they were weird because they want people to like be consumers. They don't want you to just have one kid and have like a nice...
Okay, Bernie. Okay, I hear you, Bernie.
But you know what? I write all about this in my book, The World Deserves My Children. So,
but you have a book out?
Mm-hmm.
Can people get it?
Yeah.
How would they get it?
You can pre-order it on my Instagram.
Amazing. How about another call?
Yeah, why not?
Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
You know how I have been fantasizing about when our little pups leave to the great pound in the great beyond? That I will get
those pearly gates up there.
Pearly gates, the pearly little dog gates with a little teeny gate so that the dogs can get through. That I'll get us a German Shepherd that can protect our family.
You finally got it?
Well, the good people at Budsies created this German Shepherd just for me, and it's an aspirational stuffed animal. But if you have a pet, you can send into this awesome new company called Budsies and Budsies. They make two different products that are both so creative and so cool. You can send them a real picture of your real pet, and they will make a doll to recreate your pet so that you can like give it to your kid when they go out of town, so that you can bring it with you when you go on the road to work.
And also you can bring your child's art to life with Budsies. They can turn your child's art into real stuffed animals.
So yeah, I mean, it's like if you've got something and you want to turn it into a toy from something that you love. I mean, what a cool idea that you can get a little German Shepherd. Would you feel safe walking in our neighborhood at night with this Petsy?
No, but if you send them a picture of Mayor Cutie, they'll make a little Mayor Cutie, and I definitely want that.
Definitely.
So can you get that for me? Please, for the holiday, they're still accepting holiday orders, but get orders in early as spots do run out. Visit budsies.com for 10% off using the code honeymoon. I mean, this is the perfect gift for your animal lover friend, or for if you want to give someone the art of your child.
By the way, if you want to send it to a
grandma,
a grandparent. I was just going to say a drawing that your kid made, or I mean, I assume they don't even have a filtration system where they can tell it's a child's art. You could get a Basquiat made and just say, yeah, my kid did this. Please recreate it. That's
Budsies, BUDSIES.com, and the promo code is honeymoon.
Budsies.
For 10% off.
Budsies, BUDSIES.com. Promo code honeymoon, 10% off. You could have a dog of your very own. Look at this little dog. Look at this little fella, huh? Ain't he cute? Look at that little Budsy over there. Budsies and Budsies. Okay, we're going to call Julie in Catalonia.
Is that Spain?
I believe it is. And if I could describe the physical opposite of the town of Modesto, California, it would definitely be Catalonia, Spain. Vale.
Hello.
Hola y vale, or something like that. How are
Hola.
you? Hola. How's it going in Spain? I want to be in Spain. Oh my God, I want to be in
We've been
Spain.
watching 90 Day Fiance, so we're kind of like really ready to get our travel on. Which, by the way, do you watch that show?
I haven't, but I've heard of it and I've heard that I should watch it.
Well, so basically, what I figured out is
Should is strong language on that show.
people buy like really expensive clothes, and then they go on vacation, and they meet people, and they fall in love. And then they go back to live at their mom's house, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna marry. We're getting married."
Be careful; it might be literally what happened to our caller. What are you doing? What are you doing in Spain? Let's start there.
So then the whole show is all these
I teach
like
English here.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You're good. You're good.
I was just gonna say the whole show is just people, engaged people who met in like a really glamorous situation, like in Catalonia. And then now they're the guy's living at his mom's house in Tennessee.
Realizing how awful people are in person.
Yeah. So, all right. So tell us, what's up?
You're living in Do you not want to say what city?
It's a tiny town no one's heard of. I'm about an hour train ride outside of Barcelona.
Oh, man. I want to be in a tiny town in Spain. Eating that pan con tomate.
Oh, that stuff. Why is that so good?
Some papas bravas, baby.
Spain is
Get
really
me to
nice.
Spain.
Although when we were there, they were telling us that there's bloated rats in the ocean.
There might be bloated rats, dude, but that's just because the food's so good.
No, it's like you're swimming and then there's like rats kind of like
I
swimming
love
next
Spain.
to you.
I'm a Spain stan. I'm a Spain freak.
Spain file?
I'm a Spainophile.
Spainophile?
Spanophile? Okay, anyway, what's up? How can we help?
So I met a guy over the summer. I've been here about 9 months. And because I'm in a tiny town, there aren't a lot of people that speak English here. But I met a guy over the summer and we connect. And he said he wanted a relationship, but there's an age difference. So
where's he from? Is he from the same country you're from?
No, he's from small town Spain.
He's from Portugal.
Ooh.
Okay. And he speaks English.
He speaks very good English.
And what's the age gap?
13 years.
And how old is he and how old are you?
He's 22 and I'm 35.
Okay.
Ooh, this is starting to sound a lot like the latest season of 90 Day Fiancé.
Okay, keep going.
Sorry.
We're listening.
So at first, like, because of the age difference, I was really hesitant to like get involved. I was like, okay.
23?
Nice,
oh my God.
Hmm?
23.
22.
I mean, maybe a Portuguese man can kind of like get it together.
Well, hold on. Let's hear her out. Okay, go ahead.
Oh my God.
So I will say that like he's had a lot of interesting experiences in life, and he's way more mature than I would expect a 22-year-old to be.
Everyone says that. They're always like very, very smart. She's like really knows a lot about very, very, very mature for her age. And
Okay, go ahead. I'm on your side.
meanwhile, they don't know like any references.
I had a feeling Natasha would be against this.
Well, I mean, listen.
No, I had a friend who they did not. They were dating a girl who didn't. What was it? She didn't know. She didn't know who Martin Scorsese was. She had never heard of him. Like he was the first person to mention that name. So I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of. I'm not saying every situation's like that, but like there's a reference gap.
Okay, but hold on. Okay, hear her out. We know 22-year-olds are idiots.
No, 32-year-olds are idiots. So 22-year-olds are like.
All right, so what's up? I'm still with you. I'm still fighting for you. I'm like that. I'm like a matador right now, and Natasha's like an angry bull, and I'm trying to keep her off of you.
So at first he was like very much like, I want a relationship with you. You're great. Like I want to date you. And then after some time I was like, okay, like maybe like, let's see how this could work. And as soon as I said I was interested, he said, oh, never mind. I'm not interested anymore. I still think you're great, but with the age difference and everything, I don't think it's a good idea. And on top of that, he's like currently in Asia studying for school.
So what's the advice? I mean,
I'm trying to figure out like if I should
definitely
like,
not contact him.
That was my question, is if I like, because he still wants to keep talking to me, and he still says that like he doesn't know how he's going to feel in the future. Like, do I kind of like,
Fuck him.
like
Easy for him to say.
But it's your own fault. He's 22.
Easy for him to say he's got lots of future. You know, he's like, yeah, who knows? I got 65 more years to live. It's going to be great. I mean,
and what do you really like about him? He's the only other person who speaks English in your village. I mean, it's like, I think you can find somebody else.
Natasha's got a soft touch, I will say. You know what? It's good that it broke up because I was going to say, because I thought you were about to say that he wants to get serious. And what I was going to say about 90 Day Fiancé is the real red flags are always the young, hot guy who goes, or hot girl who goes, I always dreamed of America. My entire life, I wanted to live in the Big Apple.
American girl? American city?
So this is good. This is
the U.S.? You're from the States?
At least he's not like a hustler, because that's the hustle vibe. Whenever anybody on that show goes, America has been my dream since I was a little boy. I'm like, okay, this is a con.
I will move to South Dakota to get there.
Okay, so the guy broke it off with you. He said that he's
like, I still want to talk to you. So you're like, should I call him? No.
Yeah, no. I mean, should we keep going? I guess no. No, of course not. I mean, no.
You just need to like shake him. I'm sorry, it sucks.
You got a weekend of Portuguese passion. You got the linguiça of your life, and you're just take it as a happy memory.
And you don't want to be pining for a young guy like that. Like you're too, you know, it's like I would go the opposite direction.
I think I
would go for someone older than you.
You're probably lonely because you're literally living in small town Spain and can't even talk to anybody. So, I mean, how could you not be lonely? Rather than pining after a 22-year-old who's already said he's not interested, I would say no contact and get on Spanish Tinder. Tinder. I mean, really, try taking the train into Barcelona, every other week and going on a date in Barcelona.
A date.
Yeah.
I would do that.
What's the fantasy? Play it out. You know, they used to say that in AA. They would say, play the tape. Play the tape. What happens here?
Well, so to like add some context of like why I would be like, okay, not making it serious right away is like, I'm somewhat recently divorced. I got divorced like 2 years ago. So I wasn't looking for a relationship anyway. But yeah.
But he doesn't even like you. Like he doesn't want to be around. He's like, he's not saying we can have sex once in a while.
I think he is. I think we just realized she's being coy. And what he said was
he's saying we can still fuck whenever I want to.
He was saying, yeah, I'd be down to fly in and we could have like a sexual fling, but I don't want to be serious. Is that right?
We have joked about being like international lovers that meet up occasionally.
I mean, here's the reality. I can this one I can see like as clear as day. You want to pretend that you could just use him as a boy toy, but you are a little bit sprung on him, as we say in the Bay. You're sprung. And you're pretending that like maybe you could unsprung yourself, because the story you told is he was pursuing you and you turned to him and said, yes, I'm in, pursue me. And then at that moment, he's like, boing, I'm out, right? And now you're saying maybe I can go do, this is like classic stuff, the classic, I hate to be reductive, but woman stuff, where it's like, maybe I can reconfigure my emotions to then turn you into a booty call. Now, because if you were in America and this was an American, I'd be like, absolutely fuck no, run for the hills, you deserve better, get out of there. The fact that you're trapped in small town Catalonia with no one to talk to, I'm like, it's hard for me to say do not have a fling with this guy, but I would say proceed at your own risk, because you already know you're going to get hurt at the end of this thing, because he's 22.
And then he's going to have a new girlfriend.
100%. He's going to treat you like shit.
Yeah. And you're going to be like, what? I thought that you're mature. He's not.
Right.
So
you're
it's like,
woman. You're a woman.
You're already more mature than him if you're the same age as him, you know?
You're a woman, he not but a boy. And he's going to treat you like, you're going to be disappointed in the future, but you're going to have more fun in small town Catalonia if a Portuguese stud comes to visit every once in a while.
And what's cool is you won. You had the fling. You did it. You got divorced and then you fucked a hot 22-year-old.
This is eat, pray, love territory.
And now it's like a notch in your buckle, or whatever they say.
They say notch in your belt.
If you pine after him now and like fuck him a few times and it ends really badly and you get depressed or whatever, it's like, and he takes you away from meeting someone cooler and more appropriate for you, then you don't win anymore.
22.
So I think you should just stop.
22. He's not 28. He's not. 22 is like a dumb boy.
Even though he probably has a handlebar mustache.
Yeah, even if he's lived many lives, he's still a dumb 22-year-old boy. And he's telling you that, to his credit. He's telling you that very clearly. Hey, I'm just a boy. I am not going to give you what you want, and I'm going to probably be inconsiderate. You want that? That's kind of what he's saying. And then you got to ask yourself, am I willing for a few weekends of companionship and gratification to accept the fact that I'm going to get burned? Because you're going to get burned.
Ooh, you could date if his dick is that good, you could date other people too.
Yeah.
And that's one reason why I've considered it, is because like if I'm not in a relationship, and like he and I can keep each other company while we're in foreign countries, but like the second somebody else comes along, I can be like, okay, thanks, bye.
But let me clarify what it means to go on an international fling with a 22-year-old who said, you're too old for me. I think don't want to do this, but I'd be down to still fuck you. You go to Thailand with that guy, right? You're like, ooh, this is my international boyfriend, but it's not serious. At any moment I can go. You go to Thailand with him. He's there with you. He's staying in the hotel. He goes to a bar. He sees some other hot chick that he thinks is hot. He fucks her that night. That's the kind of thing that 22-year-old person happens. I'm not saying that will happen, but that's like, steel yourself for that. He's not like going to be your man in these other countries. He's going to be there until some other flight of fancy takes him.
And also, like, you don't really need to weigh and consider this because nothing's happened. So, like, why don't you just let him make a move and then you can consider it? If he's like, come on, let's just fuck one last time, then you can be like, okay, let me think about this and see if you're up for it. Maybe you'll say like, no, I want something else. But
I can't say I don't
think you should go make a move towards him for sex.
I can't say don't do it because I really do feel your plight. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like to just be sitting in an apartment in a small town in Spain with no one to talk to and nobody to hold you. I would probably dance with the devil as well if I were in your position, but just know that it's a devil.
Hey, maybe it's time to come back home.
You know what? Or maybe it's time to move to a bigger city in Spain. There we go.
Yeah, I'm here until June next year, but I'm thinking that I want to try and go to a bigger city.
Yeah.
The next school year, if possible.
I mean, nobody dreams of going to where are you from in America?
Seattle.
Nobody dreams to going to the Vancouver, Washington. You know what I mean? I'm going to go to America and I'm going to live in Squamish. That's probably a beautiful place. But my point is, your dream when you want to have this international trip is not to live in like some tiny town in the middle of nowhere in that town. You want to go see you want to see a bull die. You want to see.
Yeah, ruins aren't, you want to ruins don't get your dick wet.
Yeah, you want to see fascism roar back. You want to go to an all-night Italian house club in Ibiza. You want to get, you want to get your Spain on. So go get your Spain on. That's what we think.
All right. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Adios y vaya con Dios.
Bye, honey. Watch 90 Day Fiancé.
Yeah, do watch 90 Day Fiancé. It might actually help you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Moshe, speaking of Ibiza, it has turned into Ibiza in our house because you have started DJing upstairs, and I feel like I'm dancing on the beach with Bianca Jagger's children.
Natasha the other day asked me if I was DJing that loud to fuck with her. And she was being serious. And I was like, no, I've never thought about you
it was like the middle of the day and it was so loud.
I just don't know.
And we share office space and it was in your office and you didn't even ask me if that was okay.
Right. That's not how boundaries work though. Boundaries usually work by you saying that's too loud, not by you hoping I would have known it was too loud.
Well, maybe
Boom.
Maybe it would be good if we had some like time frames where it's cool to blast techno music in the middle of the day when maybe I'm on a Zoom.
Yeah, because Natasha, to be fair, you have a sound system that you've set up in your office, and you're always blasting Edith Piaf or whoever.
Well, there's a lot of construction.
Cab Calloway.
Well, I like loud, like jazz music can kind of help get rid of construction.
Well, techno actually works better because it kind of works with the construction.
I know, but the problem is techno sucks.
Natasha, how could you say such a thing?
I think I'm going to make T-shirts that say that.
I'm sure they've been made before, Natasha, but you go to whatever hot topic you can get distribution at. Good luck to you. If you would like to be a caller on our podcast, shoot us an email. endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com.
And also, don't forget to join our Patreon. And before you do that, come see me,
Come
not
see
Moshe.
Natasha. You could see both of us.
Come see me in
You're
one
not
of these
going to Raleigh.
cities.
You're not going to Raleigh.
Okay, fine. You can go see Moshe in Raleigh, but come see me in Philly, DC,
New
New
York.
York, Chicago, other
You didn't
places.
mention New York before.
Brea.
Rachel Brosnahan. Am I saying that right?
Oh yes, it's going to be in conversation.
The marvelous Mrs. Maisel herself is going to be interviewing Natasha at the City Winery in New York City.
No, at Symphony Space, honey.
Oh, I'm so sorry. At Symphony Space in New York City. Give us a call if you want to dump a secret on us, 213-222-8608.
Also, who would you like to see on the podcast? Hit us up.
Yeah, let us know who you would like to see on this pod. Natasha, before I go, there is something I do want to let you know.
What's that now?
It's that I love you.
Oh, I love you too.